here we are at San Francisco and I got myself a Nexus 7. I got it at GameStop, just around the corner, for 201 USD. It's a 32GB model with 3G compatibility. I was really lucky because this was the last Nexus 7 model they had in stock. So I bought it without hesitating or even thinking. So let's unbox this right now. Okay, so we're going to start unboxing the Nexus 7. As you can see, I bought it from GameStop. So let's take out the main cover outside. Then there's another black box, which we are going to take out the cover. And there is the Nexus 7, which we are going to get to it in a few moments time. So in this, below the Nexus 7, there's a compartment which contains everything that comes with it. The charger adapter is 2-pin because it's bought in US. The USB cable for charging and connection to the computer. And 2 booklets. One, the quick start guide, which you will most probably not read, and the warranty guide, which you most probably not read too. So here is the Nexus 7. It's fresh from GameStop. Oops, the wrong way around. The main feature is the rubbery bag, and you can see the Nexus. Manufactured by Asus. The rhyme. Okay, so let's start it up. The power button at the side. So the Google logo will appear. And then after a few moments, this X will come out and everything is starting up in this little power machine.
2 hours later.
Okay, so right now we have the Nexus 7 all set up actually. So I'll be showing you the main features of Nexus 7, or in a whole general term, Android. So one of the main features is the face recognition unlock. See, I show my face and it unlocks. And another feature is actually the Google Now. As you can see, some cards are showed. You can press to show more cards, which shows the conversion rate if you're in another country. As for now, we are in US, so it converts for us. And it shows the time, the weather, and events, and some of the restaurants or coffee shop nearby. It actually shows a lot more stuff. It's just that I disabled some of them. Yeah, so it's a really cool feature, especially if you travel a lot. And yeah, that's basically it for Android. So now we shall compare the iPad mini and the Nexus 7.
Eventually.
So right now I have the Nexus 7 in my left hand and the iPad mini in my right hand. Thanks to our kind volunteer Mr. Yo, who lent us his iPad mini for this comparison video. So in terms of operating system wise, the Nexus 7 runs Jelly Bean, Android version 4.2, while the iPad mini runs iOS 6.0.2. In terms of operating system in a whole, we can't really say which is better because there are 2 different operating systems developed by 2 different companies, like how you are comparing Windows and Mac OS X. But what we can compare is the hardware, the performance in terms of speed. So right now, if we were to put the Nexus 7 on top of the iPad mini, you can see that the iPad mini is actually slightly bigger than the Nexus 7 in terms of length and width. And so the screen size of this iPad mini is actually bigger than the Nexus 7. And if you were to put them side by side, the iPad mini is actually just a little thinner than the Nexus 7 at the same time. And the iPad mini actually weighed about 30 grams lighter than the Nexus 7, which is not a very big apparent weight difference. So in terms of feel, especially the back, this time Google has made Nexus 7 a rubbery back cover, so that when you place it on the ground or on any surface, you don't really get the scared of being scratched. While Apple has decided to stick to its normal iPhone and iPad back covers being aluminium. This gives a more smooth and more classy feel, and it's also a great back, but it's more prone to scratches. So right now we shall test these two devices. So let's switch them on. So first we will test the internet speed. Right now both of these devices have no apps on, so it's a more fair comparison. So we shall open up Chrome and we shall actually load our SST Inc. website. So we shall press go at the same time. 3, 2, 1. They are running on the same wireless internet speed of our hotel's Wi-Fi. As you can see, the Nexus 7 loaded just a little bit faster than the iPad mini. It's almost a split second that it doesn't really matter. You can see from here, the text of the Tumblr or the below 3 words is actually much clearer than the Nexus 7's. And the white background of the Nexus 7 is actually more yellowish in a sense than the iPad minis. That's because the iPad mini has a better screen resolution than the Nexus 7. So let's go to our blog now to test another internet speed. 3, 2, 1, press. See, they load around the same time. Now let's wait for these images. Okay, never mind. As you may be able to see, actually the Nexus 7, the white background again, has a more yellowish feel than the iPad mini yellow background, which is due to the screen resolution again. Right now we can't wait for the whole thing to load because the hotel Wi-Fi is really slow, but the internet speed is almost the same really. Okay, so we shall close these two, and as for the smoothness and of the devices, you can see this Nexus 7 is running quad-core 1.2 GHz, so it's really smooth and can handle a lot of tasks at the same time actually. It just has this once in a while really slight lag which you almost don't feel, while the iPad mini holds up to its reputation of Apple where it's really smooth, almost no lag. It's running dual core 1 GHz. Yeah, that's all. Thank you for watching. So in conclusion, these two devices are rather similar. This device, the 32GB, costs $271 USD, or this device, the 2GB version, costs $429 USD. In terms of price, there's quite a lot of difference, but iPad mini has generally a bigger yet thinner tablet, and really the internet speed are almost the same, and it's smoother in a sense. So if you have more money to invest, then you should really get the iPad mini. If you like if you are neutral about the OS. But the Nexus 7 in the other hand is a really cheap yet very good and efficient alternative to the iPad mini. So if you don't really have the money to buy the iPad mini, you can actually invest in the Nexus 7, or you can buy either one of them in terms of your OS preference. Thank you.